This is Sandy Tankus for TOS50.com, the other side of 50, and I'm here today with Rabbi Michael White of Temple Sinai in Roslyn. Good morning, Rabbi.
Good morning.
And we've discussed the High Holy Days once before, but I came back again to speak to you about the year. Well, this is what in the Jewish calendar now?
We are going to be entering the year 5773.
Okay, and we're in 2012 on
Yes.
on the American calendar.
Yes.
But Rosh Hashana begins the High Holy Days season, and I'm just wondering, for Jews around the world, what should Jews be focusing on at this time of year?
Well, Rosh Hashana, it could be argued, is the most optimistic and hopeful day on the Jewish calendar. The day is called, in our tradition, Hayom Harat Olam, the day of the world's birth. But unlike our birthdays, which we commemorate dates in the past, this is a day where we speak of the world being reborn that day. So in other words, the world is constantly being reborn, and the message for us is that we too can constantly experience renewal, that we can constantly experience rebirth in our own lives, as if to say that the past can't shackle us, that we have the opportunity to begin again, that we have the opportunity to let go of those behaviors and those patterns in our lives that hamper us, that hinder us from being able to fulfill our potential, that keep us from being able to experience all that we should in our relationships, and that prevent us from being able to fulfill those dreams that will bring blessing to us and to our families and to the world. And so Rosh Hashanah comes along to remind us that we have the power to begin again, that within us is a wellspring of strength and even courage and wisdom to be able to start anew, and that we shouldn't allow the past to hold us back, but that there is this engine within us that can bring us to a new and a better place in our lives.
Well, that does sound very optimistic, actually. And then we have 10 days of reflection,
Right.
and then Yom Kippur.
Yes.
And we also talk at this time of year about the fact that a gate comes down and God selects who's going to live and who's going to die, and that kind of is scary for some people. So I wondered if you could give us your comments on that.
Well, you're speaking about the one of the most important prayers of the High Holy Day season, the prayer that's called the Unatana Tokef, which speaks of the power of this day. It speaks of God as a shepherd, and the imagery of the prayer is as you've described. It's very harsh and unsettling, and can be even a bit scary. This image of God as a shepherd watching each of his sheep pass before him and determining not only who shall live and who shall die, but how. Who by earthquake, who by fire, who by storm. And then the prayer concludes with this beautiful statement. It's a but statement. Even though we've just read this imagery of God's power and really a lack of power on our part, the prayer says, but with prayer and repentance and good deeds, we can diminish the severity of God's decree. And there are a variety of different ways to read all prayers. One is to read them literally, and to assume that our tradition wanted us to believe that this is actually how it happens on Yom Kippur. But I think there's a much more important and more figurative way to read these words. I think we need to understand that the prayer wants to jolt us to the realization that life is tender and precarious and fragile, and that although we may live as if we know what will happen tomorrow, none of us really do. And so the purpose of this prayer is to remind us that we need to live every day as if it were our last day, and not to put off till tomorrow though the hard work of repairing the breaches in our own lives, but rather we need to act today. We need to act in our relationships in a way that will soothe them and that will repair whatever alienation might be in our relationships with the people that matter to us. We need to act in a way that that helps to heal the toxicity in the way we behave in this world, the problems, the habits that bring nothing but darkness and poison to the people we love and to our own ability to live the way we should in this world. Not to put it off till tomorrow, but to understand that with prayer, with repentance, and with good deeds, we can bring our lives to a new and a better place. And I think that's the message of that prayer.
I was going to ask you whether you had a particular message for Jewish people at this time of year, but I guess that might be your message.
That's the message. Don't wait till tomorrow. Understand that the season comes to us as a gift, and that if we do the hard work of introspection, the honest work of assessing where we are in our lives, and then to begin to change what is broken, that we can have a wonderful year.
Well, thank you very much, Rabbi. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova to you too.
Israel, the Yom HaZikaron.